Hi friends, welcome back. So today we are going to discuss about one of the astrological symptoms which can be seen from palm also. Okay, it's a part of palmistry. So friends, when we are believer of astrology, then we have to believe in palmistry also, because I understand that anything which is there, any condition which is formed in the chart, the same reflects in the palm also. Okay, so why palmistry comes into effect? Like these days, we have birth details of each and every child who is born, because due to the like we have availability of all the resources. That is why that is being captured in the hospitals, and parents have very less very one or two children, or so that they are able to take the data, or they are able to keep the data safe, the birth data, which gives the which helps in creating the astrological chart. But the times when there were a lot of children, so parents were not able to keep the date of birth, and which is why the horoscope even was not getting created, because if we have unavailability of the time and place, then we can't calculate like what is the horoscope, or how is the chart. So in all such cases, palmistry is one of the things which can be relied, or the palm can be checked. Okay, yeah, and it also shows the same thing. Okay, even though the entire body or the structure which is there, the planetary reflection is the body. Okay, the way the planets are arranged in any chart, that is a reflection we shows in our body. So palm is one part, like where it shows clearly what is it all about. Okay, so we can never deny palmistry. Yes, the this science has got diluted by many people by uses, or by creating a kind of false like giving false predictions, or creating a kind of fear inside anyone's mind, so that they will believe on something, because the entire world is sold, like, because fear is one important part which always have a deep impact on everyone's mind. That is why that is a thing which can be which can be said to people, so that they will be serious on things. Okay, so that is why it was done. But now these days, like, we have the birth data which is available. That is why we are able to calculate the, or we are able to prepare the chart for that particular person. But in the absence of this chart, the palm can be seen. Okay, so why I am talking about this is, I will tell you one interesting thing today. So I'll tell you about the gap in fingers. Okay, it's not with everyone, it's only with those people who have afflictions in their chart. Okay, so friends, to be honest, gaps in fingers is not good at all. Okay, because it shows financial instability. Okay, when there is a gap which can be found in between your your middle finger and the index finger. Okay, so that clearly shows that the person will have issues in finance. Okay, that won't be stable. Okay, and here I'm not telling anything about what is the income of that person. I'm saying that money will not stay with that person. Okay, you would have seen a lot of people would always lead a very comfortable life, even if there is a less income. But even if, but at times you would have seen a lot of people who have a lot of income. Okay, but they are not able to save, because the money is getting diverted into different aspects of life. It can be due to health, or it can be due to unnecessary expenses, and mostly it is unnecessary expenses. Why? Because generally it is seen that when there is a gap between these two fingers, like, people are not good in finance. Okay, so they are not good in calculations, because they will go for overspending. Okay, so person who has a gap in these between these fingers, or it can be any of these fingers. Okay, I won't be specific, but anywhere, if you if you hold your palm like this, and you will join all your fingers, and you see there is any gap which is coming in between to the lower part, okay, to this part where the picture shows. Okay, I'm not saying or going about the second part. Telling about the lower part. Okay, as the picture shows, you can ignore the index finger, like, and the thumb which is there. That is a different thing. Okay, so here I'm talking about any gap which is coming in between the four fingers that we have. Okay, it is not about this thumb. Okay, so if you see there is any kind of gap which is coming, even though if when you joint it, or when you align all those fingers in one line, but it is joint, is gap is coming, it clearly shows financial struggle. So let's understand why it shows financial struggle also, and why I'm saying these people are financially weak. Okay, so first thing here is the people will do, any person who has gap in finger, he'll be doing a lot of overspending. Okay, spending, it means that suppose you have, your income is something. Okay, so let's say you have an income of 50,000 or 1 lakh rupees. Okay, but the person will always think of buying any product which will be beyond his income. Okay, so because that is where the person will get into trouble. That is how it happens. It clearly shows that person will have a lot of spending and overspending also at times. Okay, so here it all depends like how we can control our finance, right? So when we see that the person will have gaps in their fingers, they will always look for the product which is an expensive one. They will never see for any product which is having very low cost or less cost. Okay, they will see that anything that, because in when we are going with any level also, based on the level of income, we have to make the expenses, but here the people will do a lot of expenses. Okay, that is why the trouble will be there, because there are two things by which you can do the spending. One is you will you'll be borrowing it. Okay, so these days we have the facilities of EMI, so person will go with buying a lot of stuffs with EMI. That is why it makes it completely, the income gets exhausted or gets diverted into that direction. Okay, so here why I'm saying this in astrological video is, when we correlate this one with our wealth houses. Okay, suppose we will definitely see that there should be some issue with the second lord, 11th lord, and 12th lord. Okay, so why these two houses are important? Because second house is the house of wealth and 11th house is house of gains. Okay, so stored wealth is seen from second house. So whenever the lord of the second house is going to 12th house, it clearly shows that person will have a lot of expenses, or ultimately we can say losses also. Okay, let's not say expenses. Okay, so at time, if the person is able to earn a lot of money also, he'll be losing all that money, or he'll be investing that one in such a way that he will be losing it. Okay, so or he'll be making a lot of expenses which he may not get it in return also. Okay, it's not one thing which can happen. Second thing is, to maintain a kind of lifestyle which they don't have also, people do a lot of spending. Okay, this is one more aspect of it. So it clearly shows that they are weak in finances because they are not able to control it. Controlling the expenses is also an art. Okay, so this is what is the basic problem with the person who have gap in fingers. Remaining other things will remain the same. Okay, as it shows that person will have see, it's very correct. See, gaps in fingers shows independent thinking and strong willpower. Such people value freedom, make their own decisions. This is very important. Okay, and don't like to be controlled. This is exactly what I'm trying to say here, that they are not controlled. Okay, they lack in self control also. Okay, they have weakness to buy expensive product. Okay, I can say that expensive, why I'm using the word, it depends on the income, so we cannot say that even the person can have crores of income. Okay, as I'm saying that income is a different part and this combination is different part. I will never say like that this person may not have money. No, the person can have money. Okay, but all I'm saying is that the person may not be able to store the money, and he will be having a lot of and huge expenses. Please remember that term, huge expenses, heavily. Okay, it's just like, the thing is coming and going away, thing is coming and going away. This is not able, they are not able to stop it. Okay, that is the problem with this kind of finger. Like whenever there is a gap which is there in between the four fingers, it can be there in the It can be there with any male or female, it depends, but it always shows some kind of affliction. And as I was talking, if we take the chart of that person who has a gap in finger, and we will see the second lord, 11th lord and 12th lord, there will be a definite connection. Either it may be possible that the second and 11th lord, both of them are placed in 12th house. That is one which shows huge expenses. Other thing is, like, whenever, if the 12th lord is also placed in these houses or lagna houses, or even the 12th lord is coming into 11th house or something, or 12th house activation also can be clearly seen. Otherwise, one more thing is, second lord, maybe it is going to 6th house. Okay, this is a kind of combination which is possible these days, because earlier we were not having the we were not having the system of getting EMI or a lot of bank loans. Okay, but these days you will see most of the population will they have EMIs. Okay, but the difference between this gap in finger and the person with closed fingers is, even if the person would have taken a bank loan, they have a control on the finance. That is why they have that kind of stored amount or money which they have taken a loan. For example, I'm telling you, suppose you have a you let's say you have an, you have savings of around 30 to 40 lakhs rupees. Okay, so, and you are taking a loan of 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, or let's say you can go with 45 lakhs of loan, and you have a savings of 40 lakhs, and you're going for a loan of 45 lakhs. Is makes some kind of sense, that because you have still 5 lakhs balance, so you can manage it. Okay, but here, when there is a gap with this finger, even though the person is not having 1 lakh or 10 lakhs of rupees, or even though they may have 20 lakhs of rupees, but they will agree to buy a flat or any vehicle which will actually cost around 50 lakhs, or it may go around 60, 65 lakhs, 75 lakhs. I'm just giving you an example that they are very obsessed with expensive things. Okay, that is why they have the habit of they have the habit of uh, buying. I will not say that they are trying to show themselves up. No, they are like that, as I told. Okay, so different types of people are there. So this is shows a kind of affliction. Yes, and the other side of it is, yes, this shows a kind of affliction or financial instability, the person can have very low income also. But even though the person can have low income or high income, but the person will have lot of expenses, it clearly shows, and money will not stay. So it's completely advisable that they can invest on any of these assets, or at least they can buy some kind of commodity which can give them wealth, or which can be they can sell later on. They can keep some wealth with them. Otherwise, what this shows also, I'll tell you, even though the person will be a very good person, or he's not willing to buy any expensive stuff, what will happen is, this person will all of a sudden land into a kind of expenses which we have, which he or she may not have planned. Okay, suppose if somebody in the house is getting ill, or will get some kind of medical issues, and they will be losing it. They will be close to any of the family members or the relatives, and who will have requirement of money, and they will give the money, and the other person will take some time to return it, or may not return it also. This is the problem with this, because money will not stay with them. Okay, and this clearly also will show you, if you see, the person will have a lot of Rahu Rekhas in the hand. Okay, which is why whenever the Rahu Rekha will cut any lifeline, or if it is cutting the luck line also, this clearly shows financial instability in the person's life. Okay, that is why I told it's not considered good, because as I'm saying, it is ultimately related with the expenses part. Okay, I will try to do one more video on Rahu Rekhas to talk in detail about what is the issue with Rahu Rekha, and how the same can be looked in astrological chart also. They both of them are related, so this is a related one. So friends, if you enjoyed this video, please do like, share, you can comment on this, and you can subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming back with more interesting videos based on research only, more of a kind of research, which will help you to understand this thing, how it works. And thank you so much for watching this video, friends. Bye bye.